Hi guys, welcome to this system. ArcoLinux, ArcoLinux, they both need keys. So pacman is package manager and it uses keys, and they're the master keys, and with the master keys other guys get signed. So all the packages that we get are actually checked, right? There's a little fun little thing. If you wait a little longer, you know the names of these guys. Now, every other distro have their own key rings. There are key rings, so key is in a key ring. So the most important thing to remember, anything arch based, is sudo pacman-s, and the y, make sure that you get the databases in, and then archlinux-keyring. That's it. That's the most important thing to remember, right? It is already okay, and you read it like this: 2022 09/27. So September 27. No need to install it again, it's there. We know that this can be an issue. So on the ArcoLinux tweak tool, we have buttons, right? We have this fix thing. Sometimes we need to fix our operating system. And a lot of fix things, and sometimes we can't go online. So we have already a keyring on your system somewhere hidden away. There you say, click sudo pacman-u, install me the keyring, the latest you've got. And if you've got internet, go get it, right? And here's also a fix key. So this is all about keys here. Now, the fun thing is, let's first go here, Ctrl-Alt-G. Let's go to YouTube. Updating a system, whether it be Windows or Mac or Android, right? It's always the same thing. You need to know how to update your system. And there are lots of update videos. And all we have to do is find them. Probably if we do like this, you can scroll down here and find all the playlists that keep on going and going. So we try to gather together a few topics, right? So update, that's a problem because update seems to be also there. Updated, right? How to build update. So let's go up here and say ArcoLinux update, not up here, right? That's the complete YouTube. This is our YouTube channel. And see if there is some kind of playlist, because we have, I think, one of 100 videos or so. Here he is, 105 videos. We talk always how to update, and sometimes there are new challenges, but the main channel is always the key, the archlinux-keyring. So this video will go in here because I have this what if. What if I start with a very old, so an old ISO, and I've downloaded one. What if I start with, choose a disk file, download, and I can immediately also check my my configuration for the keys that I've changed yesterday. So this one is from 2021, September 08. This is the oldest one. I'll do this one later, but this is the oldest one. This can be the most fun one. The thing is, ArcoLinux, so is ArcoLinux, is rolling, meaning you just keep on updating all the time. The choices are always the same. It's either BIOS or UEFI. BIOS is colorful, has a nice icon, nice logo. This one is UEFI, nothing black, blue. And then the choice, the drivers. Open source with with Nouveau. This is without Nouveau. NVIDIA proprietary drivers and no Nouveau. And just, hey, let's stay safe and have a very small resolution, like I think 800 and 600, but then figure out later on what are the drivers I need on Arch. Arch Wiki NVIDIA, Arch Wiki AMD, right? You Google that and you start reading, okay, that's what I need. There are also videos on arcolinux.com. In the menu there's an NVIDIA, so I'm sharing knowledge there too, how to figure it out. So it was good to go back and have a look. Go back in time basically. Right, that's the wallpaper. This was a little bit smaller. So the beginner installation, you know, we call it now the easy installation, just a name change, but making it sure that this will always work. This is the beach kind of thing, no internet available, and this is, I do have internet available. Now to show all the changes, it's better I do the beach installation and the no internet installation. So it's the bits and the bytes from the CD-ROM, so on the USB, that's being put on your future system. And then we update, right? Then we see visually what's going on with our system. Otherwise, the advanced will update the system in the backend, and I would not know what's happening. And probably run into lots of issues, right? This is safe. For an old ISO, we always choose this one, because the advanced one, everything has to work. Like every single package has to work, and the key servers have to be there. Well, many things, many variables can go wrong, right? So this one is safe. So let's wait for this thing to install and then update. Right, so I forgot to put the recording back on. So yes, everything is installed, and I was already rebooting. Et voila. So we have now this old system. Let's have a look and ask who, what created this, right? Ctrl-T ISO is the command. So you know, we're now having a virtual machine that's based on the code and the kernel of a year ago, 2021 September. Okay, what do? You update, but you know, of course, already that you will probably need to get the new databases in. That's the new databases. Let me put something else here in the video. I tend to forget it, but last time I had to look it up again, right? SUV. It's a car, right? Everybody, hopefully internationally, knows the term an SUV. I've bought an SUV, right? It's a car. Okay, and if you type this one, take a look at what we get. We get here, the configuration for Pacman is here, the databases are here, the cache is here. So this is information that's interesting. Let's have a look. Before we go and change things, let's keep that folder open. And which folder do I mean? The var lib pacman, that guy, right? Local sync, those are the databases. When I do Ctrl-Shift-3, Ctrl-Shift-2 is better, I see some dates and hours. Let's keep that one open, just to see if anything happens at some point in time. So if I want to update, let's do that again. I typed already something in the password there. So yes, look at that. Something happens, right? I get the databases in. When I do this, I tell him to actually get the databases in, whether they're up to date or not, just go get them. And that's a different line. All the kilobytes and the megabytes are here. Again, without one, and again with one. Right? Okay, so that's updating, fine. Included in the video, we need to get the archlinux-keyring, right? Go get it. We're jumping from 2021 August to 2022 09 September. That's the first thing I would do. Think about the keys. A lot of people have been thrown out keys that do not exist anymore, people that are not working with Arch Linux or are still working but have a different key, right? And they're new people, so new keys. So all of this is in here. And then we have a go at the update command. Wow, right? 1 year. Yes, this is our own doing, right? At some point in time, pacman did not work from the AOR, and I said, whatever, I'll make my own package, ArcoLinux pacman all. Yes, we've made a change from ArcoLinux battery lock screen to Arch Linux, saying, okay, the ArcoLinux logout becomes an Arch Linux logout, the ArcoLinux tweak tool becomes an Arch Linux tweak tool, because in the end, it's all Arch, right? Some name changes. Here you see all the name changes that we've decided to say, look, it doesn't make sense to make an app just for ArcoLinux. It's for Arch. Anything Arch related. That's not mine. And that's the number from the AOR. The AOR decided to say, look, this doesn't look good. I'm gonna go for a different kind of versioning system. All we need to do is sudo pacman-s hardcode-fixer-git, and that's it. That we can do later. This one, fine. Change this one, changing that one, all the name changes. Some of these things are not for me, right? There's an electron elf thingy. Atom is gone, right? Well, 2 gigabyte, 7 gigabyte, and the net upgrade is only 400 megabytes, so for 1 year, right? But of course it costs you bandwidth. You need to download it all. So Electron 11, yay, Electron. All kind of versions probably on the AOR. Let's see if we can find something. Not really. They're not popping up. We have the Electron 13 bin on our system, I see. And here he is. Now, Ctrl-G, ArcoLinux, sure. Go to the info page, right? Info, information. What is the ArcoLinux project? Start here, read. One of the things is that at some point in time I made an analysis, right? And say, okay, around 93%, I always say around 90%, right, is Arch, pure Arch, Arch Linux, core, extra community, multilib. And the rest is about 5%. And then we have still the AOR for 5%, and that's it. That's basically, and the third party is packages from Spotify or something from AOR. So basically, what we're doing here is updating 90%, more or less 93, 94%, pure Arch. The rest is what we kind of like to call the spices. And it's like a dish, right? You spice things up. Everything can be very bland in taste, and if you don't like that, you make your system, your Arch Linux system, nice. You spice your dish. And that's what we call the ArcoLinux Spices-Application. It's actually an application to get the keys from ArcoLinux and the keys, the repos from ArcoLinux. So suddenly you've got the i3 configuration with all the packages, and you have the Arch Linux tweak tool there and the logout there, and everything feels back the way it was. So this one, if you're going through all the phases, the learning phases, this is phase 7, where you install Arch Linux and build it up again. So basically, the 90% from ArcoLinux, that's now the 100% because we're on Arch. And we're gonna add that extra 5% and maybe a few packages from AOR, and you're back on ArcoLinux. Basically, right? Because you're adding spices to it. So that's a fun project. So a lot of things, a lot of what ifs on our project to keep you busy for years. I see we're still creating here the XS compressed. Maybe I should mention that too in the video, because people do not read this. We are ArcoLinux, right? Many people say, you're not ArcoLinux, right? You're ArcoLinux. Yeah, but you need to read this anyway. Removing Python 2 from the repositories. End of life. It's gone away. So OPKey is one of the applications that we use for OpenBox. It's out, right? It's supported. It needs the Python 2. Python 2 is non-existent. Ctrl-T, Python 2. Have a look. Yay. Yeah, look at the nice logo there. Python 2. Right? What do you mean Python 2? The Python 2 actual application does not exist. Maybe I better do this. -s Python 2. Alright. Target not found. It's out. So keep an eye always on this one, and here in September 2021, after everything already happened, right? After people got stuck in an unresponsive system, the communication came, oh, there is a need to do this extra. And everything was okay again after 4 versions. So keep an eye on this, right? And no more. So in the meantime, I've used the time to tell you that. In the meantime, everything is now up to date. This is the line it needed, right? Grub install, grub install, grub install. Where is it? Grub install, grub make config. So it's the update grub thing for us, right? So this one, grub make config. We've ensured now, of course, after everything happened, right? Told him an extra line, go. If you're on UEFI, only then you do this as well. Okay, that's it. But, well, yes and no. There is something called skel. There is something called skel. There is something called skel. Burnt USB. Everything needs a mobile camera. There, on here, ArcoLinux.com, the questions we get most is here, right? All this is here. And what was I saying? What were we saying? Forgot what we're doing. I wanted to go here somewhere for one reason or another. It's interesting to have here all the information about the keys for sure, but right, the skel. Where can we find the skel? Here it is. Copy paste. Basically, it is indeed a copy paste. So what is this skel all about? Can be a blessing. It is when your qtile is crashing. You just type skel, poof, BSPWM, i3, they're all working again because they rely on correct code, right? So skel has been created for developers and beta testers, but you can use it too, and there's always a backup. Now, skel became indeed a script in May 2022. We have an all ISO, right? So let's have a look. Ctrl-2. I like to do a skel, and this is the old skel. No communication, boom. So I better do a copy bash. Guys, if you say how do I know all these things? Ask alias. If you don't like to read it like this, personally I don't, because it's made alphabetically, which is okay and not okay, right? Bash RC, open this up, make this bigger and scroll through it and see what things you may like. And that's your bash RC. Now if I do CP, it's in there in the list, copy bash. I have the newest from today now. When I type skel, we need to still reboot, I guess. Or is it next time around? I think we still need to reboot. But with a skel, let's see how can I quickly check if everything is okay. I go to the bin folder, to the stay rolling 2022. There you go. Everything is in here. How to get from these ISOs, move from one version to the other. Lately it has been nothing to do all the time, right? But at some point in time, if there is something, well, we need to communicate. What did we do here? We added actually this one, Linux firmware QLogic. Do not see all these annoying warning messages when Linux firmware is updated. So you see here the Linux firmware split. At some point in time they did that. So sudo reboot. I've mentioned already a few critical things. What I should mention as well maybe is, guys, if you have troubles, use our websites. 1, 2, use the YouTube but in a smart way, please, right? And meaning that you go for a browser, you type in ArcoLinux, all good, ArcoLinux YouTube or something. Then you look for one of ours, that's often ArcoLinux with a number. Then you click on the channel itself. Yeah, sure. And then you click on the channel itself. That's a link here. And now I stop this one and I say, look for Xenmod. What has Eric written about Xenmod? Well, written is a big word, right? What videos did I make? Is there some kind of playlist somewhere? Right, here he is. 13 videos. You want to know all the videos about Xenmod. So we do use, well, whatever we get as possibility from YouTube to make it easy for you. I see a red icon. Ooh, what's this? Update. Atom. Okay, no, stop. Let's fix that one, but first the easy bit, -s, hardcode-fixer-git. Now I wonder, so Atom, is it still on our repo? It's still on our repo, here it is. It's installed, and we have this version installed. So sudo pacman-s atom. Do you want atom? So Control C, I'm gonna remove, if it's available, I suppose it is, Electron 9, look at that. So this one has to go, required by Atom. Nope, it has to go, right? It has to go, DD. Let's make this a little bit bigger. It has to go, DD. Arch-wiki pacman, remove, and read everything they have to write. They have written about that, how to remove stuff. Sudo pacman-s atom. Then see, so that's still an old one, is it? Okay, no. Sudo pacman-remove atom. Let's remove this one. That's an old version. I update my system, new packages are coming in, everything is now nice. This hardcode fixer is gone. -s atom, what will he provide me now? Cannot resolve following packages to use for this upgrade. Cannot resolve 11. So is it finished? Is it stopped? Let me see on my actual hardware. So if I do this, this is my real metal machine thingy. Now I wonder if Atom is still on my machine. Nah, I've removed it. So I've given up on Atom. Yay, Atom, I've given up on it and it's not used. I'm not using it anymore. The question is, of course, do we still need to keep it around, right? It's here, number 2. Yep. Okay. Decision has been made. It's gone. I'll remove it from our repos. So back to this one. No. And then sudo pacman -remove. Atom is gone. Check. Electron, what do we have? Nothing. It's gone as well. And what I'll use is code. An editor. Another editor, right? And it uses Electron 19. Fine. Choices. I always say this to people. If an application fails, use another application. It's free software, right? It takes a day or 3 normally, right? If it's an ArcoLinux thing. If it's an AOR thing, it's maintained by you, a user, right? Then it might take longer. And it's the way it is. Or you fix it yourself, right? Or you wait for people to fix it for you. Let's see at the skel thing. I found that a bit strange. There he is. There he is. So we stopped using the smaller skel thingy, and we tell you now, wait, read. We're gonna override stuff, but if you were working on a new i3 or something, or a new polybar or anything, right? It's here. Here are some backups for you. So you can have a look. Okay, I had a new plank theme or something, new setting. It's here. And what you do, as usual, you compare stuff. Compare. And remember that the application meld should be installed. It's a bit changed, a newer version. Hey, that's updates and it's all free, so you adapt. Voila, I've got myself an ArcoLinux. Started out with something a year ago. So it really doesn't matter if you do daily updates or something like that. You see, you can update from something a year ago. It's some knowledge you acquire, and this video will go in the playlist ArcoLinux update. Because in the end, if you start feeling confident of ArcoLinux, then you stick to it, right? If it works for you, then stick with it. That's another advice I can give you. Guys, if ArcoLinux or ArcoLinux or any of the other ArcoLinux based systems do not work for you, well, choose another Linux distribution. There are so many beautiful Linux distributions out there. But use something that works for you. Maybe end with this. Guys, type probe in your terminal. Why? Well, it will share some software with linuxhardware.org. I do not buy rubbish hardware. You Google a lot, you search a lot before you buy. And what you can do is look for computers, laptops, notebooks, desktops, Z97M gaming, and see who's using it. Pop is using it. Has Pop any issues? Works, detected, works, failed. What's this? Corsair. Have a look. Look it up. What's this number here? And that's how I make my decisions, normally on parts, because I don't buy laptops. I buy a motherboard, and I buy RAM, and I buy a CPU. So that's probably the motherboard will be the most important thing for me to look. And if I find a lot of reference saying Ubuntu works there, Red Hat works there, SUSE works there, ArcoLinux works there, ArcoLinux works there, I'm safe. And that's how you should do it, rather than trying to put a Linux version on hardware that's not compatible, basically, or it makes it very difficult to install Linux, and you need a lot of knowledge in order to get it running. Buy hardware that's supported, and same for NVIDIA cards. If you have, if you see there are a lot of problems with a certain Linux card, don't buy the Linux. Don't buy the card because of the problems with Linux. That's the first search, and Windows comes later. Last thing, last but not least, our advice is not to dual boot. Our advice is to invest in a multi-bay, like 50 euros. You push on a button, SSD comes out Windows work. Windows games, then Linux, all the versions you want, and EndeavourOS, one operating system on one SSD. Pop it out. Next time around, you save up, of course, you buy a new SSD, and then I'll try it SUSE, I'll try it Red Hat, I'll try it Ubuntu, right? You keep on learning, and that's actually what we stand for. ArcoLinux is a university. We want to share a lot of knowledge, and then you go to anything Arch Linux based and learn more, because of course we'll have gaps in our courses, and you just have a look at all the other tutorials of all the other people, right? Here we have a little list. At least these guys already pure Arch. Learn, apply the knowledge there. Come back, follow us, be on EndeavourOS. We don't mind, right? It's the university. Whatever you choose, it's fine. And like I said, if ArcoLinux doesn't work, why not choose any of the other guys, right? It's all Arch in the end, and we are happy that you're on Linux. That's the most important thing. All right, cheers.